What's up, guys? Welcome back to Have Faith, Show Love, Give Hope. Today I have Coach Ari. What's up, Ari?
How you doing?
Good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man.
Yeah, it's nice. Finally get to sit down with you and talk to you. All right, so I know Coach Ari from flag football. I met you a long time ago. I don't think we ever played on the same team, did we?
No, we did.
We did?
Yeah, we played a couple tournaments together. Yeah.
On the same team? Okay.
Yeah, with Rich B.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I always thought I knew you from just like from the game. I remember you stopping me one day after I started my podcast and you talking to me and you told me I got a good story, yo. We should sit down and talk one day. And then we did set it up one time, but you was like out of town and you never came. So, but it was all good. You know what I'm saying? I kind of knew that you weren't going to come because you were out of town and stuff like that. And but I've always followed you on Facebook for a long time. I've had you on my friends list, and I've always seen that you're really big on football. Coach Ari, football, either flag football, arena football, or any kind of football. So I always wanted to know, why is football so important to you?
Well, I lost my dad in 2006 in a tragic motorcycle accident, and football was something I could always do in the neighborhood with my friends. They couldn't afford to race dirt bikes because that's what I did with my dad before he passed away. And yeah, I just always loved the game. I was a big Brett Favre and Reggie White fan growing up, and I think that's what really inspired me to play. And all my cousins played, and I grew up on the east side. Football was our way of survival.
Mhm.
So
So
that's
where did you first start playing football? What school?
I started playing with the Navarre Colts. 2003 was my first year. Um, my cousin, it was actually really funny. I didn't want to play football.
Hmm.
Um, I was small. All the other kids were bigger than me, but I always grew up with the older kids. So my cousins were always 8, 9 years older than me. So
Hmm.
I played with them growing up, and my cousin kept telling me like, "Bro, you're killing all of us, and we're way older than you. So why don't we just go down to the football tryouts and see what you got to offer, or see what they had to offer you?" And my mom was like, "Well, you're not gonna sit on the couch all summer, so you got two options. You can either play football or you can play soccer." And I'm like, "I'm not playing soccer. Like, I want to hit people. If I'm gonna play something, well, I'm gonna hit
Yeah.
someone." So she took me down to the practice, and I remember I was just real weary. Like, "Man, Mom, I don't know if this is what I really want to do."
Mhm.
And she was like, "Just wait till the pads come on. I promise. Once the pads come on, you're gonna love it." I'm like, and then just right after that, it was just I fell in love with it. And I actually remember getting an argument with my dad before he passed away about racing and football. He was like, "I want you to race," and I was like, "Well, I want to play football. My friends can't afford to race.
Mhm.
It costs a lot of money." So that's where started playing
Football.
ball.
Football
Really
took over.
took over, and then I think when I really knew I was good and found the passion for it was after my dad died. It was just all I had to
Mhm.
look forward to.
Yeah.
So I came from, single mom of three kids. She
Mhm.
worked all the time, and football was my only way out. So
Yeah. And your dad died abruptly, like it was just something out of
yeah,
the blue.
just out of the blue,
Yeah. So it was really hard on you guys. Huh?
really hard. Yeah,
Yeah. So like that's basically where you seen like even like the coaches were kind of like your father figures.
yeah, yep,
They were more like, you know what I mean, people around all the time.
always.
Yeah.
Dan Zervis actually. Shout out to Dan. Sixth grade year, actually, I wasn't even eligible, and he had went down to the East Toledo Junior Football League to the meeting, and he fought for me to be able to play. He basically told him like, if this kid don't get to play, he's just gonna be another victim of the streets,
Hmm.
and he saved my life,
Yeah.
and I thank him to this day because I
Yeah.
probably wouldn't even be sitting here talking to you right now
Yeah.
on this podcast. So
Yeah. Especially talking about football, because
right,
that's what got you going to actually be so involved. And now sometimes you coach kids, right?
yeah.
Like,
So last year, um, I got my feet wet.
mhm,
I coached for the Mid City Buccaneers.
Mhm.
Well, they're actually the Tesla now. I coached with them for a couple months, and then I felt it wasn't really the direction I wanted to go as a
Mhm.
coach, and I started coaching youth flag, and it was actually interesting because our friend
Mhm.
uh, Dom had the super team of the league, and my kids had lost to him 14-26, and it felt pretty good to
Mhm.
sit there and be on that level to be able to compete with him on a
Yeah.
coaching level, not only just as a flag level, but it was very interesting, and we actually did pretty good for a lot of the kids not playing flag before,
Mhm.
and it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. And
So
then that kind of brings you back full circle to them coaches that used to coach you back in the day,
yeah,
and now you can like guide a young kid to teach
yeah,
him how to play football.
yeah.
What position did you always play? Like, what's your
Uh,
position? Like,
well, I've always grown up as the athlete. I can plug you here, plug you there. Growing up, I always played running back and quarterback and
mm,
linebacker, and then when I got older, I started transitioning into wide receiver, defensive end.
mhm,
And now I just usually play quarterback, receiver, and running back. I kind of went away from playing defense.
mm,
I feel I don't need no more CTE, so
yeah,
I don't want to be the crash out no more. So
yeah. So now you play more offense now.
yeah, more offense than
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, well, the older you get too, it's harder to cover
Yeah,
the
the
being a
depth.
defensive back and stuff.
No, no, it's
Because the younger they get, the older you
you
get,
get
they're
yeah.
like, oh shit.
It's shit, man. And then being almost 30 and still being able to compete with these 18 and 19-year-olds
Hmm.
is great, man.
Yeah. So what have you done? Okay, I know that you play flag football, but tell me all where did you? Okay, you played in elementary school. Then where did you
I
go
went
to
to
high school
I
or
went to high
anything?
school. I went to Bowser. Played
Bowser.
4 years at Bowser. I didn't play too much at Bowser. There was a lot of politics going on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but we won a city championship senior year, and then after senior year, I decided to go to college. I went to the University of Northwestern of Ohio in Lima.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't do too hot. Failed out. Um,
Your grades or your football?
it was just grades more or less.
Yeah.
I kind of struggled going in, and then I found semi-pro. I was playing flag with a couple people that we know, and
Mm-hmm.
they're like, "All right."
What mainly teams did you play for? Like,
Um,
what were your main team? I know you played for a lot of different
I
teams.
played with the Avengers. Played a few seasons with them. Played with the Outlaws.
Okay.
Played with Wolfpack when we had the
Oh yeah, I remember.
70-9 year.
Yeah.
Uh, I played semi-pro for the Toledo Glass City
So, but
Tigers.
you learned about that at flag football, huh?
Yeah,
Because
well,
they you people be walking up, hey
I
man,
was
we.
playing for the Wolfpack, and I had met Reed, Aaron, and
Mhm.
Reed was like, "Man, bro, wow, you ever thought about playing semi-pro?" And I'm like, "What's semi-pro?" He was like,
Yeah.
"Contact football," and I'm like, "They got that for adults?" And he was like, "I thought that died out when we were kids. Like, I
Mm.
remember back in the day it was a thing." And he was like, "No, man, we got a team. Like, you should come." And I went and played with Glass City. It didn't really go the way I wanted to, and
Mhm.
then I ventured off to my buddy Q Murray. Shout out Q Murray. He's one of my inspirations.
Mhm.
Uh, it was funny because I didn't want to play with the Glass City no more after that season. And Coach Dale tried to start up the Knights again, but the Knights had failed.
Mhm.
And then he was like, "Well, there's this team in Lima called the Steam," and I'm like, "Well, at the time, I didn't have my driver's license. I had a car, but I didn't have a driver's license." And I'm like, "Man, Lima's an hour away." And I looked at Reed, and I'm like, "Well, bro, like, what do you want to do?" And he was like, "I think we should do it. Like, I think we should go play for this team." I'm like, "Bro, I don't have a driver's license." He's like,
Yeah.
"Hey, man,
He didn't either?
he was like, God, he's like, there's with God, there's a will, there's a way, right?" And I was
Mm.
like, "Well, all right, let's do it." So
Mm.
we went and played with this team, and that was 2016. Um, we ended up starting the season with 25 guys, and by game 1, we were down to 12. So we played a whole
Damn.
season with 12 guys all season. That was where I really got my foot wet in the semi-pro world and started getting my name for myself. And then I left there because the team folded up, and I went and played in Detroit and for the Detroit Renegades. And then after that, 2018, I went and played with the Finley Knights. We went to the championship and lost. Quarterback got hurt the game before the championship. I had a crazy season that year. I had a 40 sack season that year. 100 tackles, 47 for a loss. I led the team in pretty much every defensive category besides interceptions.
And this is all real contact football.
On contact, yeah. So we had a crazy year that year. And then I left there, and that's when I found Harley and I found the Blitz. And I started playing arena ball and started getting my feet wet in the arena world. And then I've been with the Blitz since. And this last spring, I went and played in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. That was a crazy game. So we go to Cedar Rapids, Iowa, not knowing, just at the time their organization, they were having some problems. So they had cut their whole roster in a sense. So they were just fill up guys, So I had got a phone call. And we went out there, and it was funny because my brother AJ, he's usually our quarterback. And he says to me like second quarter, he's like, "All right, go to quarterback." Brother, I ain't played quarterback since high school. Like, what do you mean go to quarterback? It's like, bro, go to quarterback. You got it. I'm going to go to receiver. I'm like, all right. Well, before the game, we got there, and we were supposed to play another team, but they didn't show up. So they divided the roster so we could still give the fans a game. And there was this one kid, man, he was just chirping and chirping and chirping in the locker room. And I'm like, all right, this dude's getting annoying. Like, that's my one right there. He's my guy, like that's my victim right there.
Yeah.
So we're like second quarter, and second play, I'm at quarterback, and the line opens up, and I see the hole, and I hit it, and I ran him over. It was great because it was in front of like 3,800 fans,
Oh,
so
shit.
it was like wow moment,
Like, shut up, dude.
like shit, like that just happened.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, so Harley's pretty much took me. I played with Team America a couple times, won 2 national bowls with them.
That's what that jersey
Yeah,
is doing?
that's Team America, yeah. And then
what
these are
the-
my Blitz jerseys that me and Harley part on the team. We're actually based out of here in Toledo, Ohio. We play out at the Total Sports Dome. So yeah.
Yeah, so you guys are part owner of the team too?
Yeah, I'm part owner, and then Harley's full owner of the Blitz.
The Blitz.
Yeah.
Okay, and then that team is like where you guys all like all the players like help pay for their own jerseys, helmets, and all that, right?
And they pay for their own stuff, yeah.
Yeah, because it's not fully sponsored or anything.
Right. We have 7 sponsors, but we're not fully there yet to where we can give equipment type deal. So we've been doing that for 4 years. Season number 4. Well, season number 7, year 4. Yeah, man, we're just
because there's a couple seasons during the year.
Yeah, so we play a winter and a spring. So our winter season usually starts in November, ends in usually October, and then ends in the middle of December, sometimes January, just depending on.
It's already started already?
Yeah, we're in mid-season now.
Oh, okay.
Our next game is actually December 7th. We play in New York, and then we come back in I think the 14th or 15th, we come back and have a home game here at Total Sports.
Damn. So you guys go all the way to New York?
Yeah, we travel. So we have in our league right now, we have one team is from Pittsburgh. We got a team from New York. 2 teams from Virginia. A team from Michigan, and then there's us. So 6-team league right now.
Damn.
We're building, trying to build the league too. That's another thing. We're thinking about, we had got offers. So with me playing in Iowa, we had got offered to go to a bigger league in the spring. And at the moment we're kind of indecisive if we want to join the league.
Uh-huh.
Um, Mainly because of the cost of the league, not just that travel. There's
Yeah.
that, and we're a bigger, we got a bigger fan base than they do, so it doesn't all the way make sense to travel to their league in a
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
When we have 350,000 people in Toledo and
Yeah. Yeah.
Iowa City Rapid or Cedar Rapids, Iowa, they have 140,000 people.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
like
You guys are a bigger market.
bigger market. So it's like, do we really want to join a smaller market?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It would be better to get people to join this league.
right. So our goal is we want to get into the Huntington Center.
Mhm.
That's our ultimate goal. We've been having a lot of problem community backing. A lot
Mhm.
of people don't know about us, because we're still really a new team.
Mhm.
So we're still trying to get our name out there and get more known in our city.
Yeah. It's called the
Yeah.
Blitz,
The Ohio Blitz.
the Ohio Blitz.
Yes, you can find us on Facebook. We have a Facebook page. We have an Instagram page.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. So
Yeah, and you guys are full contact,
full contact, 8-on-8.
8-on-8.
It's arena indoor football.
Okay.
Um,
So it's not like exactly like the NFL's 8-on-8. So what's missing is the less linemen.
Less linemen, yeah. So you have 3 down linemen,
Yeah.
2 high motion. So you got 2 receivers that are always in motion.
Uh-huh.
Um,
So
yeah,
it's like 8-on-8 flag.
yeah. In a sense, it's like
Yeah,
8-on-8
but with
flag
pads
with
and
pads.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in a sense, yeah.
But that's the kind of structure of the
Kind of the
line.
structure of the line.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I never really knew that. I thought it was always 11-on-11.
It's 8-on-8.
8-on-8.
It's more like, I don't know if you ever seen Canada football.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Canadian football, how they always have somebody in motion all the
Oh,
time.
okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's different. I love it. You got to be a strong one to play in the walls.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anybody can play regular football, but
Oh, it's walls
yeah, you
around
play
it.
in walls.
Oh, okay.
We don't here usually, but when we play in bigger arenas, we play in the walls. So
Mhm.
it's fun. Actually, what is it? 3 seasons ago, we were playing in Michigan, and I actually put someone through the glass. That was
Oh,
pretty fun. Pretty fun. Scary, but it was
yeah.
fun.
Like a hockey thing.
Yeah, so they have it's like a hockey rink
Yeah. Yeah.
around it, and then we got turf fields. So, um, yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
know the glass was that weak, and
Yeah.
kind
That
of
shit
just hit
real.
him through it.
So that shit
And
was like.
I was like, "Oh Lord."
Oh
I seen
man.
it shatter, and I was just
You're
braced
like
into him. I
you're
braced in it. I
grabbing
used him. I used him.
you're grabbing your wallet like,
Like,
oh
oh
shit, I gotta
shit,
pay for this.
Thank God we had insurance, man. Because
Yeah.
whoo-wee.
Yeah, you don't want
He
to
was
be
talking about
able
$2,500 for that glass panel. I
for
was like,
real. Like
ouch.
they're like, yeah, okay, yeah, we don't make enough doing
Right.
like we pay for this, dude.
Right. So
Yeah. So that's pretty cool, man. I mean, that it took you a lot of different places. You've seen a lot of different areas,
yeah,
right?
this year alone, I've been to 12 different states. Played in about 25 different cities. So I mean, I love it, man.
Yeah.
I have an amazing wife, man. She supports all this.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be possible without her.
Okay.
She does a lot, man. She owns her own business.
What's her name?
Her name's Sadie.
Sadie.
Yeah, Sadie. She's
Okay.
great, man.
And she's like the rock to
She's the
your
rock,
madness.
man. Man,
I mean, it's
awesome.
not
Yeah.
easy. It's not
No, it's
easy
not
to
easy.
do
She,
sports and stuff.
With all the support she gives, it's great. Being on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Got a few offers for the spring. Don't know if I'm gonna take them or not. But yeah, that's just where we're at with it.
Mm-hmm.
More so, I'm at the point where I've built the Blitz with Harley for so long. It's just like, do you really want to leave and go somewhere else,
Yeah.
or do you want to just stay home?
Yeah.
Be the
Yeah, but
hometown
football,
hero.
like you got to understand too, like that shit helps you with your mental health, with
Yeah,
everything.
and it does a lot, and it's helped me.
Do you feel
get
like
back.
do you feel like football saved your life?
In a lot of ways, it did.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'd be if I didn't find football again. Honestly, actually, 2019, I went to jail, and
Mm-hmm.
football was almost taken away from me. So I cherish it. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's my life.
What did you go to jail for?
I had got in an argument with my ex-wife. We
Mhm.
had a domestic dispute. No physicality or anything, just argument,
Mhm.
and cops were called and went to jail. So,
Okay. So when did you meet your fiance, your wife, or whatever she is?
we've
Who is she? Your girlfriend?
she's my fiance,
Your
man.
fiance?
We're getting
Okay,
married
my
soon.
bad.
We're gonna pop the question. So she
You
already
gotta
knows.
pop the question.
No, she already knows. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm popping the
you're
question soon.
yeah.
So, we kind of already picked
How long
out.
have you guys been together?
Oh, we've been together a while, 6, 7 months, man. You just know when
Oh,
you
for
know,
real?
God
Yeah,
brought her to me at my lowest point in life, and
yeah.
she's the sunset. So, my madness. So
Mhm. And she helps you out with everything.
she helps with everything.
That's
She's the
the
goat, man.
okay. So like what has been your lowest? Like where do you come from? Do you come from the streets of Toledo?
I come from,
Like I know about your football
my
stuff
mom and
now.
dad split up when I was 3.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Dad was always heavy in the drug game.
Mm-hmm.
That was his thing, and he
Like
worked on
selling
cars.
and stuff.
Yeah, selling. And mom, she just always worked a full time job. She worked at McDonald's for many years, and then
Mm-hmm.
when pops passed away, it was just mom and us. So
But your
um,
mom and dad were already broke.
split up.
They already
Yeah,
split up.
yeah, they've been.
But you still had your dad with you.
Yeah, my
Like you
dad was still present.
used to go riding bikes and
Ride dirt
stuff.
bikes and stuff. Yep. And when dad died, mom was single mom for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Men came and gone.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Like
know how that.
boyfriends. Me too.
Yeah, yeah. Then
We've all had that.
a lot of them weren't worth anything.
Yeah.
But uh, I think the real thing that really got me passionate about football so much was my sister's dad.
Your sister's dad?
Yeah,
Or like your stepdad or something?
yeah. Him and my mom were never married, but
Oh,
he was
okay.
like dad after my dad died.
Yeah, yeah.
He played for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Did he?
Won 2 national championships with Findlay University.
Damn.
Um, so he was always on me about football growing up. So I would say a lot of it was to do with him, why I
Mm-hmm.
played so much, because I always just wanted to be better than
Mm-hmm.
him.
Yeah, yeah.
He, 4,009 yards in the wishbone offense as a fullback. That's impressive.
Yeah. What's
So
his name?
Nelson Bolden,
Oh, for real?
yeah,
He played for the Steelers?
played for the
And
Steelers.
you like the Steelers now?
Yeah, I love the Steelers.
But you say you grew up
We grew up in a Packers Steelers
Packers
home.
family. Like your family was
Yeah,
Packers fans.
my mom's a diehard Packers fan. My
Because I
brother
remember
has.
you saying you had Brett Favre and Reggie White.
Yep, grew up watching Brett Favre and Reggie White. It's actually funny how I became a Steelers fan. I remember it was the '96 season,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember Cordell Stewart.
Yeah.
Cordell, man. Cordell was just
Flash.
flash, man.
Yeah.
The flashy guy. Hit you with the stiff arm, and it was funny because the first season I played,
Oh, Slash. I think they called him Slash. Because
Flash,
Flash?
yeah,
Slash.
whatever. But
Because he could do everything. Like he could be the quarterback. He could
yeah,
do
he
this,
was, and that's who I was. So the first year I played, I ended up getting number 10, and
Mm.
10 always followed me. 10-23 was my numbers.
10 is it? That's like 10 is on all those. Huh?
Yeah, those were my jerseys from this year. Before that was 23, but mom said, because I'm starting to get to where I'm about done. I've done
Mhm.
everything I could do in football.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's time soon to start coaching
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just be a coach. And mom's like, I want you to go back to 10. And I'm like, she was like, those were my favorite years watching you play is when you was wearing 10. And I'm like, all right, well, we'll go back to 10 then. And making the QB change this year, going to QB. I didn't want to wear 23. I was like, that's kind of weird. Quarterback wearing
Yeah.
number 23. Like, go back to 10. And 0 was my best friend's number. He passed away a few years ago,
Mhm.
Sylvester. And so 0 is part of me, and
Yeah.
1 is for me.
Yeah.
So, and I think a lot of it is I was actually when I met Sly 2 years ago,
Mhm.
I was ready to be done with football, and I was in my vet time, you know. A lot of teams were like, "Oh, you're a vet now. You're getting old."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "I ain't old. 25, man. Like, what are you talking about? I'm old. I'm not old yet. What you talking about? Old. All right." And I remember Sylvester saying to me, he was like, "Man, I just want to be like you, man. Like, you know, I played all over the world." And at that point, I never really cherished or thought about my career at that point in time of my life. And because actually at that time when I had met him, I was in a really toxic relationship, and everything in my life was kind of toxic at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And something about him, man, he just kept on me about it. Like, man, bro, come on. And then at that point in time, I had just got signed to the Blitz, and they were starting a semi-pro team called the Ohio Nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually only ever played 2 games with that team because after Sly died, everyone kind of little bit of money laundering was going on with the
Mm-hmm.
organization and
Yeah,
whatever.
some
So
crazy
some
shit.
crazy shit happened, long story short. And
Mm-hmm.
so the team ended up folding, and Sly ended up passing away. He ended up taking his own life. And
Damn.
yeah, so I just couldn't be done at that point because it was something he loved so much. And
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, his dream got to live through me. And it was crazy because after that point is when the pro team started calling and all
Mm-hmm.
these crazy things just started happening. And I mean, I can say I've been blessed, man. God
Yeah.
found me and chose me for this journey of football.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
so I remember playing against you. Like you're pretty fucking fast because like it's hard for it to block you because like you come in like really fast right off the corner, right off the edge. So you get a lot of sacks because you're like a lot of times the people that are blocking you are like heavier set.
yeah, so they can't get that
They
that
can't
quick
really
step,
get
you
out
know.
there.
So once you, by the time you're out there, I'm already dipping and around, you
Yeah.
know.
So it's hard to block you. So that's why you get you and you're faster than most of the linemen.
Yeah,
Cause you're, you know what I mean? You're more skinny built. Like you're
yeah,
bigger,
yeah.
but you're not like bigger lineman type. By the time they kick out to go get you, you're already around the corner. So it's hard as the lineman will try to like hold you, but
Yeah,
sometimes they'll get a couple flags and then they can't really hold you that much.
yeah.
So I remember like when you played. I think I when I first started playing flag football, we used to play for the Pit Bulls. Me and my
Pitbulls,
brother
yeah, I
Dito.
remember pitbulls.
Me and my brother Dito had a team, and then we started playing with the homeboys,
Oh
Richard, and
yeah,
but
Rich.
they all played with me first. I kind of got them into the league,
Right.
and then they created their own team because the Pit Bulls kind of broke apart. Same thing, like you said, the money. Half the time, I had to pay for
Oh
everyone's
man, I
fees.
hated that. That's why I think I kind of stopped running the flag team, was mainly because I just got tired of always paying for everything. I was like,
It's
dude, come
crazy.
on.
Everybody wants
Like,
to
how
play
do we all have
football.
jobs and you guys cannot pay your own way? Like, come
Yeah.
on, dude.
Yeah, and arena football is way more, right?
Yeah, so
Arena football, you got about like $500 helmets and shit.
yeah, so I would say roughly when I first got my equipment, I'd say in the last 2 years I probably spent, I don't know, $2,500 on equipment because
Yeah,
I just like to have new stuff, you know.
yeah, yeah,
Helmets, especially my helmets. My shoulder pads, I don't care too much about, but
yeah,
helmets, you know, get beat up and crack them or paint chips on them. You buy
yeah,
a
yeah,
new
yeah.
helmet, you know.
Yeah,
It's not
helmet
like the NFL
and
every
it's
game. They're like,
sweet
here's a new
too.
helmet, you know. Oh, you cracked it? Well, oh, we got 2 more in the box for you here.
Yeah, that's
You know?
sweet. Yeah, man, that would be. I love football, dude. I've always been really big on football. Like
Man,
lately, I've been kind of
yeah, I've
growing out
been,
of it.
yeah, you know, the NFL and the college, I don't know, man. It just seems so watered down anymore. So I catch myself watching a lot of the arena football because I catch a lot of it on
Yeah,
Facebook.
yeah.
You know, I got a lot of friends I've played
That's
with.
more pure too.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, because I feel now, and a lot of reason why I never really pushed too much for the NFL. Like I made a couple practice squads here and there, and then
Hmm.
nothing ever really happened. But I just feel the NFL sissy, man. It's not the game we watched when we were kids, you know. And
Yeah.
Oh, targeting. Like, come
I mean,
on.
I think it's ruled by this gambling shit,
Yeah,
man.
and
Like it's all like a show now.
it's just a show. Oh, let's keep you safe.
Yeah,
Oh, concussions.
yeah.
You know,
CTE.
CTE. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
come on. We sign a waiver. Like, relax. Like, we know what we signed up for.
Hey, do you guys be having like good hits and stuff? Like,
Oh, yeah, a lot of good hits. Yeah, like I said, I've broken the glass.
yeah.
So that was a good hit. There's a lot of good hits. There's never really no targeting call.
Yeah.
You know, it's keep your head on a swivel, old fashioned football. You
Yeah.
know,
It gets a little bit.
it gets
It
gruesome
gets.
sometimes.
Do people get injured like really bad or anything?
I've never really seen no
Like
too big of
bad injury.
injuries. I've seen some injuries, but not really
Yeah.
gruesome
Yeah.
injuries.
Yeah.
To
That's
say
what I was.
so.
That's what I was asking about.
Um,
Because every
but
once
yeah,
in
I
a
think I've
while.
seen the most I've ever seen that was like the worst was probably like a broke ankle or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tore ACL or something. But
Yeah. That happened to me playing flag football.
yeah, that's tough.
Tore my ACL.
I actually did that 2 years ago and didn't even know. It was funny
For real?
because I went to the doctors because it just was hurting. I'm like, man, my knees is killing me. Like, what's going on? Go in there, get an MRI done. He's like, oh yeah, partial tear. I'm like, yeah. He was like, yeah, it's gonna heal itself though. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
heal itself? Like,
Because
what do you
partial.
mean? I'm like, partial? Okay. You sure I know it's need surgery? Dude, you'll
Yeah.
heal. Because I couldn't at that point, I couldn't run, you
Yeah.
know? So I'm
Yeah.
like, oh man. So I noticed it was you know, being tough on me. So actually, it was funny. The one day, he was like, "Man, it'll heal itself." I'm like, "Yeah, whatever." He's like, "You gotta just pop that scar tissue." And one day, I went to the massage guy and pushed my knee like all the way to my head, and all I heard was,
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh yeah, that hurt." Oh, but that felt really good. Wait. Oh, all my mobility's back. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
back in the game, man.
Yeah. Needed to get popped back in
It popped
place.
back in, you know. And but man, I don't know, man. Football. It's had its ups and downs. It's had its highs. It's had its
Mm.
lows. But I think it's something that's always kept me close to my father. You
Mm.
know, him passing away. Uh, because a lot of my friends like Reed, his father passed away too.
Mm.
So we have our own little ritual every game where we go and pray and you know
Mm.
to our dads and God and everything. And
Yeah.
it's funny because we were actually playing and we played a team 2 years ago. They were called the West Michigan Ironmen. They're our big name team around here,
Mm.
and they play in a big arena up in Muskegon, Michigan. And we were doing that before a game, and the fans were like asked us after the game, like, "Why do you guys do that?" And this and that. And we told them that you know we lost our father. And,
Mm.
they thought it was really cool and that we did that. And yeah, I don't know, man. The game's just it's been good to me.
Yeah.
I love it. You know,
So how did you start liking the Steelers? You because we started talking about Cordell
oh,
Stewart,
so what I
and then we
so
started
yeah,
talking
so
about
the reason I started liking Cordell Stewart or liking the Steelers because
yeah,
Cordell,
yeah,
and I just love Cordell, man.
yeah,
Cordell was the guy.
but we had a good team back then.
Yeah, we had
Like we just
you had
had, I think
Rod
we
Woodson, you
yeah, I
had
think we lost the Super Bowl, but we was
yeah,
good,
yeah,
dude.
that was a good year for us. We lost to the Cowboys in the Super Bowl,
I
right?
think so.
Yeah, I think that was
Or that was
96.
that was McDaniel. That was O'Donnell. So it had to been no. I think we didn't really make the Super Bowl. Because I remember when we lost to the Cowboys, the Steelers lost to the Cowboys. They had this dude named O'Donnell. He threw 2 interceptions to like
Oh
some
yeah, so it was when
a
we were
little
going
bit
through the
after.
losing phase.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
when
we
we were
still was good. But we
good, but
just
we were
still
just weren't you know how we were, you know.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's when I started liking him, and I love Jerome Bettis, man.
Oh, me too,
The bus
dude.
was my guy, man.
Me
I think
too,
the bus
dude.
was like part of the reason why I started playing running back growing up.
Dude, the bus. I went to his retirement thing in Canton.
That's cool. Actually, so like I was saying, my sister's dad played with Pittsburgh,
Mm-hmm.
so I've met Franco Harris.
Oh, okay.
Had dinner with them.
Damn.
Um, actually had his number, and we used to conversate a lot before he passed away. Like he was one
Oh.
of my mentors. You know the donut O's, the
Mm-hmm.
ones that we used to get in school. Those
Yeah.
are his donuts,
Oh, for
actually
real?
manufactured by him.
The
And
donut O's?
yeah, so
So he owns that company?
Yeah, he owned
Franco
that.
Harris?
Yeah, he owned
He
that
died like
company.
last year, the year before, something.
Yeah,
I think 2 years
last
ago.
year or the year before. Yeah,
It was like right before the Raiders game. We played the
yeah,
Raiders, and I remember he died right before we
yeah. I
played the
remember that.
Raiders.
I was so sad.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He was really inspirational to my career. He was a good man. Very
Yeah.
generous. Like,
Franco Harris.
cool, man.
Damn. That's dope. It's immaculate reception.
Immaculate reception.
Yeah. So Jerome Bettis was always my favorite running back. I remember when he played for Notre Dame, but then I really didn't like him back then because I didn't. And he went
Yeah, I
to
didn't
the,
really like him. When
he went to
played
the
for-
Rams.
Yeah, no.
And then the Rams traded him to the Steelers.
Yep.
That's when he went off. He got Rookie of the Year, and after that, he was just like the bus. They just called him the bus. And me too. I like the Steelers since back then, like Cordell Stewart, right around the same time, probably.
Yeah.
I remember Cordell Stewart being the quarterback.
I remember growing up, and we always, on TV, how you see the Browns now on TV. You didn't see the Browns on TV. You always had primetime Green Bay game. I remember always having to watch Green Bay, and you get a Pittsburgh game here and there. But I just remember watching Pittsburgh when it was a Monday night game. Cordell Stewart, I think they were playing Seattle, and Cordell went crazy. I think he had rushed for like 135 yards, threw for like 235 or something.
Yeah.
And that was the game. I fell in love with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm like, man, that's my team right there. That's my team.
Yeah.
It's like the Steelers. I'm like, yeah,
She's
I like
like,
the
"Ugh."
Steelers. She was like, well, at least it ain't Dallas. That's what I remember her saying. Well, at least it wasn't Dallas.
Yeah, because Green Bay, they don't like Dallas, or they don't even like us for real.
Yeah, our rival is definitely.
Yeah, because the Green Bay, like if you lived in a Green Bay family, but also they were good, dude.
Yeah,
they had
Green
Brett
Bay was
Favre,
great, man.
They had Reggie
Brett
White.
Favre was on everything back then.
Yeah,
like
Brett Favre was the man.
He was the man.
Yeah, Brett Favre was like the Tom Brady of back then.
Yeah.
Or, you know how Tom Brady was big.
Even though, that's the crazy thing is Tom Brady being the GOAT, he just wasn't Brett Favre. Brett Favre was the GOAT that wasn't the GOAT, Everyone hyped him all up, and then he just kind of pills, man. The pills.
And now he did some
now he's in
scandal
trouble
thing.
for
They don't even talk about that shit though.
Yeah.
But he did some he stole some money from some people or some shit.
Man. And it just kind of killed me because it was just like, and that's another thing. Growing up, all my idols, man, they all got in trouble, man. All of them.
You're like, dude, chill out.
Reggie White was the only one I think that just never got in trouble. Oh, and that's funny. So I actually met Reggie White. It was.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, 1996 on the Turnpike.
On a turnpike?
Yeah. So Reggie was working the Turnpike this night. Like, I don't know why, but Reggie's working the Turnpike this night, right? So
are you sure, bro?
I promise you. Okay. You can ask my mom. I could call her on the phone. She'll identify. But so we're going through Green Bay.
You guys are going through Green Bay.
Yeah, we're going through Green Bay, and I want to say there was a snowstorm. It was snowing. I remember it snowing vaguely, and I remember mom getting up to the toll, and she goes to pay, and she looks up, and she was like, Ari, wake up. I'm like, what, Mom? Reggie White. I'm like, what? Reggie White? Where? I look up. I'm like, Mom, it's Reggie White. And he had that accent, that Southern accent.
Yeah.
He was, how y'all doing? And,
like,
it was crazy because somehow I had a football in the car and he signed it. I don't know whatever happened. That football was somewhere. Mom got it somewhere. But
Damn.
So it was dope, man. I mean, Reggie White.
That sounds like almost like a dream.
Yeah, it was crazy.
You woke up, you're like Reggie
White?
White?
No, is it a dream?
That don't even sound right, dude.
Yeah.
That sounds like I remember not that long ago I seen Donald Trump at a McDonald's and he had to give the McDonald's to somebody. And I was like, but it was all set up, you know. So I'm thinking Reggie White, that had to have been behind the film.
Yeah, behind the scenes or something. We just didn't know about it.
That sounds like some Like, imagine just pulling up at a
I've seen,
Tall
that's a
and
crazy
seeing like Ben
thing.
Roethlisberger.
I've seen a lot of crazy history. Like I had seen Mark McGuire hit his, I think my mom said his 180th home run or
You
something.
was at the game,
Yeah, we were at the game, St.
Mark
Louis,
McGuire.
and it was crazy.
Oh, when he did like, remember he was like him and Sammy Sosa were having that thing.
Yeah,
Like they were having a home run.
that was that
battle.
year. It was that year.
Yeah. You went to one of those games?
Yeah. And mom took us to St. Louis, man. That was pretty fire.
Oh, so your family's like a sports family, huh?
Yeah, my mom.
Your
So
mom likes sports.
My mom played semi-pro football for the Toledo Spitfire back in the day.
Oh, for
She
real?
won a couple championships with them. So my mom's really, I'd say, the big reason why I got into football. You know, because she was just. We always played catch. My dad, he wasn't a sports person. He was a mechanic. Like he loved cars.
Yeah.
Anything with a car, he could fix anything. So,
Yeah.
but mom, she loved football. I say that's where I got most of my passion from. Is my mom.
And she was a big Green Bay Packers fan.
Yeah, big Green Bay Packers fan.
She still is.
Still is.
She likes that new dude, Love or whatever.
I don't know how mom feels.
Jordan
about
Love.
I didn't really ask her how she felt about Jordan.
I mean, he's pretty good though.
He's decent.
He's decent. I mean, I'd rather have him than like some of the people that the Steelers had back like a couple years ago.
Yeah, I mean,
like remember we had Rudolph and we had Duck. We had all these bums. I'm like, how can there not be 32 guys? How can there not be 32 elite quarterbacks in the world? Out of all these people, like I don't get it though. I don't get it. How can not everybody be like a Tom Brady? I mean, I know it's hard to be a Tom Brady, but let's say there's so many people. Yeah, like how come? Like okay, Eli Manning was
Eli Manning.
He was good, but he wasn't the best.
He was like, we need some playoff games.
Why can't we get like 32 Eli Mannings? I don't get it. Right. I don't. Out of all these people,
it's just I feel like sports are more scripted nowadays. You know, it's just not the way.
Yeah, and a lot of times you think about it, the elite quarterback probably didn't pass the grade, and he probably failed, and because sometimes
he just got caught up in the streets.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you really think about it. If Michael Jordan made it to where he's at, imagine how many little Michael Jordans didn't make it because they didn't have either.
They said his brother was better than him.
Yeah,
and he didn't. He was just too short. They said he used to bust Michael all the time.
Yeah. And there's people that are like in the NBA and they'll say, dude, when I was growing up, there was some dude in the at the court down the street that was way better than me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they didn't have the same opportunity or drive sometimes.
And sometimes, and I've been that guy. So, playing on the arena level, you go and play and you see people play and you're like, dude, who gave this guy an opportunity? Like, who does he know? Like, this is diabolical. Like, this guy is terrible.
So you've had that happen.
I've had experience.
You're like, what the fuck? Why am I playing? This guy's playing.
And it's like, this dude, you really picked this guy over me? Like, come on, dude. Like, really? No, this guy's we see it at comical. Like, no, man. Yeah, so it's a lot of politics.
A lot of politics.
And a lot of who's asking you kiss.
Yeah.
And so that's definitely going around in the arena world for sure.
Yeah.
It was funny because when I went to Iowa and I balled out or whatever, they're like, what college did you go to? And I'm like, I didn't play college football. They're like, what? You never played college ball? Like, where did you learn to play the game like this? And I'm like, well, watching a lot of film, playing a lot of ball, watching a lot of film. I was like,
and you play a lot of flag football.
Yeah, a lot of flag football and a lot of different football. So you see a lot of different sets and you become accustomed to knowing what's going to happen before it happens. Just like it was funny, we were in Philly this last Saturday. And I told my defensive end, I'm like, bro, they're about to run zone run right outside. Watch. No, they're not, Ari. No, they're not. All right, watch. They're about to run zone run. Sure as shit. They ran zone run right to the outside. And guess what he did? Got sucked inside. Said, didn't I just tell you it was coming? He's like, how did you know? I said, bro, you got to know the set. I said, that running back will give it away 9 times out of 10. He's gonna tell you if he's flaring out or if he's running or he's
The
run
running
blocking.
back.
Yeah, he's going where his eyes are gonna tell you where he's going.
Mm-hmm.
And I said his feet were pointed. I said that's exactly how you knew where he was going.
Yeah, because you have it more like built into you.
You study your film in the game,
So did you guys win last week?
Yeah, so we won in Philly 28-3, Team America game. So this game was a bowl game. So they had um the vets of Team America on one team, and then I was supposed to be on that team, but they didn't have another quarterback, so I ended up being on the national team, which that's that team.
Mm-hmm.
So my jersey was supposed to be red, but so I was on the
Mm-hmm.
national team because we didn't have another quarterback, and so my team was basically the college kids, and I'm the old vet. So so us the college kids beat the vets, and we didn't just beat them; we just kind of manhandled
Demolish.
them the whole game. So it was nice experience. We got Cancun coming up. I think they said Cancun or Vegas, one of the two.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't decided on where the next Team America game is, but it's supposed to be against Mexico.
Oh,
So
for real?
that'll be a big one. So we'll play at one of the big arenas. Like I played at SoFi with
Oh yeah.
them. We've played at Campers World, which is where they play uh, Pro Bowl,
Mm-hmm.
and then played in the Bills Stadium. They played in Canada just recently. Um, so yeah, it's
Yeah.
fun, man.
Shit's been
And it's
everywhere.
fun playing with guys from all over the world, man. Just to measure up and see where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
So um, that's always good.
Yeah, and that post, like just the other day, you posted something like, "I get a lot of love from people outside the city, but I don't." It seems like sometimes I feel
Yeah,
like that too,
yeah. I
bro.
mean,
Like,
it's
don't
like
like you got to understand, you're not the only one, bro. Look at
yeah,
all of us doing shit here in Toledo.
yeah. It's
We
just
don't.
like
A lot of us don't feel like the love from here in
no,
Toledo.
and it's like everyone always wants the opportunity, but you don't want to put the work in for the opportunity that I
Hmm.
put in, and I'm not giving no free ride,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. And that's what a lot of people here want. So a lot of people envy me because I've worked hard. I came from flag football to semi-pro to arena to the higher arena level to
Mm,
Team America. So I've worked hard for everything, and a lot of people just don't like me because of that.
mm.
And
But
I mean, I can be a little arrogant with it because I've worked hard.
yeah, but the thing is, you don't have to worry about them people.
No,
Forget them people,
no,
man.
because God gave me this testimony in this journey before I knew about this journey. He knew
Mhm.
where I was going with this before I knew.
Yeah,
So ultimately, at the end of the day, I don't really care what those people think. It would be nice to be cherished in my city,
yeah,
but I don't care about it. Like
yeah.
it is what
Well,
it
the
is.
thing
And
is,
then
like,
I didn't do any of this to get self recognition. I did all this to show, yeah, we're Toledo, Ohio.
mm,
There's people here that can ball,
yeah, yeah,
and we get overlooked because 85% of our community gets stuck in society and in the way of the drug game
mhm,
or a victim of their product of their environment. You
yeah.
know, you know how it is when we grew up.
Of course, like I grew up in the same environment as you. I went to jail for selling, drugs and went to prison. I felt like my life was ruined. So when I got out, I've been trying to do all this good stuff, try to motivate people to become better and try to be,
Exactly.
but at the same time, it's me trying to motivate myself to
Self,
become better.
yes.
But
Wow, show people they can be
I
the same thing.
videotape it and I want people to know that better is possible, but a
Yeah.
lot of people still see me as that guy that made that
Yep.
mistake. So
Exactly.
they probably don't want to like show me no love or like a lot of times I don't feel like I get enough recognition, but also like what do I really need? Like I don't
Right.
need nobody's
No.
recognition. My important part is just like coming sit down with you, getting to know you and like building like a friendship with you that's going to be further than just this podcast and like so we can create something for the future to become better adults, me and you, And not only that, but maybe one day can that will lead to being like a better coach or a better like person,
And
in real life, you know?
I think that's why uh, it's been so hard for me to leave the Blitz. There's been a bigger contract that's been offered, but
Mhm.
ultimately, I love what I do. I got 25 guys that play for my organization, and I love each and every one of them.
Mhm.
And it's the me knowing that I've sent 30 guys to a higher level or gave them an opportunity with Harley to send them somewhere else. Um, and to know that God made me do all this,
Mhm.
because hard work, God first is my motto with everything. And um, him giving me the ability to do what I do consistently, still at 29, about to be 30 here in 2 weeks.
Mhm.
It's amazing. And the places I've went in my career, I was homeless in 2015. I lost everything
Mhm.
after I failed out of school, and I didn't know if I was coming and going. Uh, and then 10 years later, almost, you tell me, "Hey,
Mhm.
man, you done played ball all over the world." I would have told you probably was crazy, you
Mhm.
know.
Yeah, so what happened in 2015 that took you
Uh,
down to like
well,
where you ended up homeless?
so I was going through some hard times, trying to figure out life. I was 20 years old
Mhm.
at the time. I was doing some things mom didn't really agree to, like smoking weed and
Mhm.
partying and just being a spoiled, entitled little brat, I guess. And yeah, she finally had enough and told me to figure it out.
Mhm.
And stayed with my aunt for a little while, and she got tired of my crap, and then I was just sleeping in my car and park benches.
For real?
Um, I mean, I always had a job, but
Mhm.
I was just trying to, survive. And then that's when
Was
I
you doing
found,
pills and all that shit?
no, just smoking weed. Always was always been a pothead.
Cause not to cut you off, but I was on around that same time. I used to
Mm.
take perks and
No, I
pills,
never. That's
and
that's
I
the
was
thing. I'm grateful that for what God is at that point in my life is that's when I truly started to find God. Because I had had enough.
mhm.
I was to the lowest point of low, and
Was it
that's when I found football
a
again.
lot of relationship stuff too?
Yeah, a lot of relationship stuff. Mom with everybody. I was just
Yeah.
toxic, man. Just
You were toxic?
I was just toxic,
Oh, okay.
man. Everything was
Did you have
sucking
a
the
bad
life out.
attitude with
Bad
everybody?
attitude, just ego. Thought I knew everything,
Mhm.
And I just remember one day, actually Antonio, he was like, "Man, you want to play flag football?" And Brian played football a year and a half, 2 years, man. Like,
Mhm.
and then it's just blessing after blessing after blessing happened after that when I found
That's when
football again.
that's when you first started like fixing
Playing,
yourself.
fixing myself and just really trying to find myself. And then I kind of lost myself again through some tough relationships I had went through,
Mhm.
and now I've been on this crazy journey with God for the last two
And
years.
then how did you find hold on, hold on one second. I want to ask you on how you found God next, but give me a second. All right. So I just took a little break, you know what I'm saying? But I wanted to ask you, so your God journey, you know what I mean? You said for the last couple years you've been so did you grow up with Jesus? Did you grow up with
We
God?
grew up in a household. My great grandmother, Leora, she always made sure that we was in church every Sunday before she passed. So for the first 8, 9 years of my life, we were big in the church. And then I kind of got away from my faith. Um, my mom didn't take us or whatever. We
Mhm.
losing our dad and stuff, and I guess life happened.
Yeah.
But I always believed in God growing up. I just wasn't strong in my faith, I would per se.
Mhm.
And then I'd say when I went to jail in 2019 is when I really, truly got 100% my faith. I mean, I started to when I was homeless in 2015 a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but then I just kind of got back to off track. But I could say since 2019, I've been really faithfully into my faith.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I really, really got into my faith last year, like
Yeah.
hard. And
I noticed that a little bit on, social
so
media.
I when I went to jail, I kind of felt like life was over. And
Mm-hmm.
actually, at that time in life, I really just felt like I was going. The person I was with at the time, we were just so toxic with each other.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I was either going to harm myself or said person, and
Mm-hmm.
I just felt like there was no way out. And finally, when I had went to jail, which thank God, I'm actually blessed. I know a
Of
lot of people
course.
probably don't say they're blessed that they went to jail, but I'm blessed I went to jail because it saved my life.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I just remember being in jail. It was crazy because COVID was around right then. Well, COVID wasn't even a thing yet, but I was really sick actually while I was in jail. And I had remember just begging God, like, I can't take this anymore. Like, I'm tired. God, like, I'm gonna hurt myself, or I'm gonna hurt her, or
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna hurt a lot of people, or I don't know. Like, I just can't control myself no more, Lord. Like, I need your help. And if this ain't for me, take it all away. Take it all away. Everything. Football, whatever it is. And that's when I just ripped my chains off me and found my salvation and
Mm-hmm.
really got into my Bible more. And it was actually funny because, yeah, was I starting to get into my faith? I was, but I was rejecting my faith because everyone just kept telling me, like my one friend Tony, he's like, man, he's like, Ari, you just got so much anger and so much pain. I can feel it. You gotta pray about it. You gotta find God. And I'm like, man, I ain't trying to hear that shit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of rude in a sense. And one day I was just sitting there and something had happened that day. I don't remember what happened, but I think I had lost my job and then my car blew up. And I'm just like, God, why again? Like, I'm doing all this good. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. Like, why me?
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, I got out of another toxic relationship, and my my one mentor from Brothers United, she was like, "Come on, come to church with us. Just come to church." And
Mm-hmm.
I had went to church, and it was funny because at that point in time, I was actually questioning everything in my life. Like, am I done with ball? Like, is this what I really want to do? Like, football has damaged every relationship I've been in. Like, is this really worth it all?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember being in church, and the story was about Sarah. You know how Sarah kind of had a baby. You know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
and I remember the testimony, and the message of the day was about purpose. And I had just felt God put His hands on me. And when I say that is, I was sitting there. You know how you get the goosebumps and you just feel it all come through you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. You
Yeah,
know that
yeah, yeah.
feeling, right?
Yeah, I know this
So
feeling.
so I had that feeling happen to me, and I had my answer. So I just knew that toxicity, the relationship, that wasn't what it is. And
Mm-hmm.
well, it was crazy. So the next day, I was sitting at home, and my buddy calls and he was like, "Hey man, let's go to Missouri." Oh, Missouri? What are we going to Missouri for? Bro, we're going to this football tryout. Come on. And I just knew that was God telling me that your purpose is football, man. Like that, all that other stuff was what I gave you to see if this is what you're truly capable of.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm blessed, man, because he's taken my football career places I
Mm-hmm.
could have never imagined, man.
Yeah,
And
because sometimes God sees our toxic relationship or whatever that we're in, And he if you we
Kept telling me
if
too.
we don't do nothing about it, eventually he'll break it up somehow, some way.
Yeah.
Like he'll sit your ass down. Like
Yeah.
God sits us down somewhere.
Mhm.
Like me in prison, like you.
Mhm.
Like sometimes we don't listen to all the signs. Our mom can be like, she's not a good girl, and you be like, but I love her. But I love
Yeah, you
her.
know?
Like, no, she's garbage. Get away
Get
from her. And then like, but us,
we
we
have to
love.
learn on our own.
Yeah, our hearts are like, no, but we love her. We love her. Well, guess what? God's like, oh, you love her? Okay.
Okay, let me show
We're
you how
gonna-
you don't love her.
You're gonna be sitting down over here. You're gonna go to jail. You're gonna go to, I'm gonna get you away from her and put you back on track where I need you to go, because he needs you for a reason to do that certain thing. Sometimes we let our own mind think that we know what we're gonna do, but it says that we need to listen to the Bible and listen to those chills when God tells us certain things. He gives us those chills or those thoughts. Okay, the devil gives us all bad thoughts.
Yeah.
All of those bad thoughts that are coming into our mind, those are from the devil. But those good thoughts that are guiding us the right way, guiding us on a loving and a caring journey, something good, that's a thought that comes in from God. Because the only way that the devil comes in is through a thought, through a bad thought, like do something bad to her or do something bad to yourself. When those thoughts come in, we got to remember those are thoughts from the devil. But if a thought that says, "Hey man, love your neighbor," go give that guy a ride. That's a good thought.
Yeah.
That's a thought or give that guy you see a homeless person and you don't even want to give him no money, but in your mind it says give him $1.
Yeah.
That's a thought coming from God saying, "Hey man, just you got a couple dollars, give it to him."
Yeah.
But if that thought says yell at him and tell him why are you homeless, there's jobs, everyone's hiring, that's a thought from the devil, because we shouldn't be judging nobody. I should love you just like you should love me. There's no bad thoughts that ever should come from me to you or you to me.
Exactly.
When them bad thoughts come in, we got to know to that's not a thought that Jesus would want us to do.
And I think another way, and it was crazy, is so how they say sometimes people are the wrong person for you, right? Well,
Yeah.
when I was starting to get back into my faith a little bit, I was with my ex at the time, and she was strongly getting back into her faith, and I kind of didn't understand it because it was crazy because this happened to me 2 years ago before we split up. She had gotten a really bad car accident. We had gotten into a really bad argument the day before. I was kind of doing some things I shouldn't have been doing, and she low key found out. And she was at the bar. We were drinking or whatever. And long story short, we were drinking and driving, and she wrecked her car and ruptured her spleen.
Damn.
And
You were in the car too?
she was in her car, and I was behind her in my car.
You guys.
Yeah. Well, for whatever reason, we decided to take two cars. That night.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay, fine. Because we were arguing, so she took hers, and I was still at work when she went or whatever.
Yeah.
So I already
met her up there.
I already knew it was gonna.
You met her up there to argue with her.
Yeah, basically. Well, and what was crazy is we weren't really even arguing.
Oh, once you guys were there, you guys were having fun.
Yeah,
though.
and we were, cool, whatever. And something happened because she had just bought this car, and I guess it malfunctioned or whatever. And,
Damn.
Yeah, so she ended up almost dying.
Fuck.
And I just remember being in the ICU, and our buddy Cody Brown.
Mhm.
Cody Brown was there, and man, I was going off in the hospital because she has always had a low hemoglobin, so they're trying to get her blood transfusion. I'm trying to tell her like, well, she's always loved like this. Nah, they're arguing with me. So me as the man, that knows her medical history, I go off on the doctors, and somehow, some way, Cody comes out of nowhere, and thank God, Cody, he saved her life that night. Because they didn't know her spleen was actually rupturing at that point. And I had sat in ICU with her, well, outside the ICU for like 5 hours. I remember begging God, like, please don't let her kids go through what I had to go through as a child. Like, I don't want them to have to go through that.
Because she has kids.
Yeah, she had kids, yeah. And so that's when I got my spiritual, like more so into God even more. So
Hmm.
um, my walk has been truly great.
You felt like that it saved her,
I felt like it saved
like
her life.
God
Yeah,
saved her life
saved her
from all
life.
this stuff.
Yeah.
Were you right behind her when she got into the accident?
Yeah, I was
You
actually
seen
right.
the
I
accident
seen it
happen?
all happen in front of me. Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah. So
So
it
it
was
was kind
like,
of a traumatizing
yeah.
experience, right?
hmm And so, since then, I don't really listen to succulent music. Like, I don't
Hmm.
listen to mainstream music. I actually listen to this guy. His name is Brian T. I don't know if
Hmm.
you know
Yeah,
who he
yeah, I
is.
know. Yeah,
I love Brian T.
yeah.
Sante. Um, yeah, that's my
I
music.
listened to a few of them different,
Um,
a couple of different ones.
I don't
One
really
K
like.
Pew,
Yeah, he's
that's
cool.
cool.
Lecrae, I'm not too much
Yeah,
into him.
Lecrae, I listened to a little bit of it.
I like a little bit of
I
him,
like his
but
podcast. I listened to a podcast with him.
yeah. Well, I don't
D1.
listen
Have
to
you ever
him.
watched D1?
Uh-uh.
D1 is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to. He's from
That's
New Orleans. He sounds like Lil Wayne, but
yeah.
like Christians, like
Yeah, okay.
Christian
I
rap.
probably have heard the songs
Yeah,
because I like to put the Brian T on the
yeah.
Pandora.
Brian T's good though. Brian T
And
has he's like a singer.
yeah, I love him. I
Yeah.
like that. So it's crazy. So speaking of Brian T, the song Faith and Love, right? So the kids, my kids, uh, my girls' kids, anyways, they're mine too. But
Yeah.
actually probably gonna go through the
You
adoption
have
process.
kids? You have
I don't
any?
have none of my
Oh
own, no
no.
biological
You've had
kids.
a whole bunch of step kids though.
Yeah, so I've been stepdad, being a stepdad for whatever, since
Your whole
18,
life.
pretty much, and 'cause, I raised my siblings too, so
Yeah.
um, but yeah, it's just
No, you were saying something about Brian T.
so yeah, with Brian T. So the kids, man, I started playing Faith and Love all the time,
Yeah.
and now when I put it on, they all sing it. They love Brian T. Like, and they're like, "Dad, keep put Brian T. on.
Yeah.
Put Faith and Love on."
Yeah.
They sing it, and I just love it because they don't understand. They do, but they don't because they're
Yeah.
3, 7,
Of course.
and 5, so they don't really understand, uh, faith yet. Because they say kids are the most purest thing to God.
Hmm.
And so the fact that they love it and they're not into the succulent music of the
Yeah.
world and everything else is just great to me. I love it.
Yeah, it's really good, man. Because the thing is,
And he
the
saved, and the crazy thing is, I want to meet Brian. I really do. I
yeah,
want
because
to go to one of
that
his concerts.
music can
His music
guide
has
you
saved
towards.
saved me, man. Like Deliverance, uh, Deliverance. That's a great song to me because it really made me think about those times of being homeless and the times that I went through and
Mhm.
how much God saved me. And his story is kind of similar to mine. His brother was killed.
Oh,
Um,
for real?
so I kind of found, so once I started listening to him and kind of see, so I'm the type of person when I listen to that type of music, I want to know the backstory. I
Yeah,
got to know your backstory. And I got to digging into his, and I just love all his music. I haven't heard a song yet that I don't like.
yeah. The dude's
Like his
fire.
playlist is just fire. Like
It's fire.
it's just
Everything.
everything.
Yeah, if you
And
type in his name, you'll see the whole list.
a
It's just
whole
a
list.
whole
And it's
bunch
like
of
a whole bunch of songs. Like,
about everything
and it was
too.
crazy because the Faith and Love was the first song I heard, and it was actually when I was in that situation. Well, not in that situation, but was with that said person, and I was trying to get back into my faith with her, and it just didn't really work. And she was like, "That music's not really, churchly, godly music. It's just people rapping Christian rap." And I'm like, "Yeah, but you got to hear their story. Like, you're not
Mhm.
understanding." Like, and yeah, so I ended up just
Yeah,
listening to more of that than anything. I like it.
yeah. It doesn't matter. Like as long as
I've noticed,
don't
like,
let nobody tell
well,
you
yeah, and I've
what you
noticed,
can do. As long as you believe in Jesus and
yeah,
you're
what
trying to guide yourself in a better direction.
I've noticed more with my faith now that I don't do the things I used to do. Like, probably the worst thing I do is smoke anymore.
Hmm.
Like, I don't talk bad about people. I try not to. I mean, I do.
Yeah, yeah,
Everyone's gonna talk bad about
yeah.
people, but I try to make it to a minimum. I don't. And if I do talk about someone, I try to do it like in front of them. So I'm not like, not
Yeah.
godly, I guess. So we were born in a world that's sin. We're
Yeah,
all
yeah.
gonna
You're
sin,
never
you
gonna be
know.
perfect,
You're
bro.
never gonna be perfect, but I try not to judge other people because you never know what everyone else has went through. You
Of
know, my
course.
story is hard. The next person's probably had a harder story. You know, I don't know what
Yeah.
anyone's went through, but I try to do the most godliest things I can, man, and walk with him
Yeah.
and not against him.
The
Because for a long time in my life, I walked against him.
Yeah, the best way to just try to be as loving and caring
Yeah,
as
and I give
possible.
all the love and caring, even if people don't give it back. You know, uh, and that's another thing I can say is I'm just blessed with God. Because I remember me and my mom haven't always had a great relationship. It's really been rocky since me and my father split away. But
Hmm.
the last 2.5 years have been great, man. You know,
With your mom.
I told God, like, God, I just help me fix my relationship with my mom, you know?
Hmm.
And I can strongly say me and my mom, I don't even think we've had an argument in the last like 2.5 years.
That's
It's
good.
great. She was supposed to go to Philly, but she didn't. She has some car issues, so she didn't go to Philly with me. But it's definitely coming talking about going to Team America with me this year.
Hmm.
So that'll be great. Finally get to travel with mom for the
Hmm.
first time in a very long time of her seeing me play ball on a higher level. You know, she's seen me
Yeah.
play with the Blitz, but not so much on the higher stage,
Yeah.
just on TV.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
That's good, man. That's the first step, fixing
yeah,
everything with your mom. And the thing about the music is really important because look, the secular music all over on the radio,
man, I hate
that
that
shit's
stuff.
gonna guide our kids to nothing.
Nothing.
Bunch of dumb stuff.
Dumb
At
stuff.
least if you can show them that look, there's this better version of rap, there's this better version of singers. Because Christian music, you can find rap,
Yeah.
singing, this
Got
gospel,
gospel, yeah.
everything, right? But
Yeah.
you can just show them there's a whole different version of this kind of music that can guide you to a better way of life.
Like Jelly Roll is probably one of
Yeah,
the
Jelly
most
Roll's
Jelly's
dope.
inspirational,
Of
man.
course, especially for people that grew up like in poverty
You know,
around a bunch of like
parents who were drug
drug
addicts.
addicts and
You know,
stuff. Like Jelly Roll he doesn't go full Christian, but
yeah,
he's guiding you in a better way
way.
than a lot of people that are around here. So I think it's
It's actually
beautiful.
crazy. So I was gonna ask you because I know, you know, that we're strong in our faith. You know, not
Hmm.
everybody's strong in their faith, but
Yeah, yeah.
I know we're strong in our faith. So it was funny on my way here. Never Give Up by Brian T was playing,
Hmm.
and it was just funny because I was like, man, I'm really nervous, you know, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, and then a song pops on, and I'm like, wow, man, I'm going to talk with Yogi, man, like on this podcast, bro. Like, this is great, bro. I'm
Yeah.
about to go on a podcast.
Yeah.
And it's actually my fifth podcast of this year, so
That's good. I
happy.
seen you did a couple other
Um,
ones.
but I was interested to I wanted yours to be my first. I hope you know that.
I
Like I
know.
wanted yours to be my first one. But I'm grateful, man.
It
Like
almost was because we set this up like freaking like a year
yeah,
ago. You know what
I
I
know.
mean?
And it's stuff happened and
Just everything
traveling and
happened the wrong way,
but stuff happens, you know,
but
stuff
everything happens for a
a
reason,
reason.
Ari.
Yeah.
Like,
And you know, it's been a crazy couple weeks because I've really been considering retire.
mm,
It's been on my mind heavy, and it was funny because God kind of reminded me this weekend of why I play ball because I was just having a piss poor attitude
hmm,
all week, and I was just like, man, fucking, I don't know, fucking do this shit, man. Like I'm fucking tired of this shit. You know how you get
yeah,
sometimes, you know, and it just seemed like everything was just battling against me for me to play last weekend, and when I got there, as soon as I got there, my teammates found me on Instagram and found me on Facebook, and they're all
hmm,
reaching out to me. And we have our first practice, and I'm like, I did something bad, and my guys are just like, bro, just calm down, relax. And I was just like, these guys don't even know me,
hmm,
like, they don't know me. They don't know me from me or you.
yeah,
And the one dude's like, bro, you got this, bro. You've been training for your whole life for this. And I'm like, can God speak it right now out of someone else,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
this is great, and uh we just all hung out. And it just reminded me, like, bro, this is why you do it. All these bonds, all these new people you meet every time you go and travel somewhere. Because when we play with Team America, yeah, there's like a handful of us that play, probably like 10 of us. But every time we play, it's a new roster almost,
Hmm.
you know? So to know all these guys worldwide, and it don't matter to be the local star because I
Hmm.
went above that. God gave me a platform bigger than that, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
worldwide.
yeah.
So I don't care what the local has to say.
Of
You know,
course, and God's
God gave me my shine. You know, when it's all said and done, and I get to go see him, like, thank you for all this because
Mhm.
this was a great. You know,
Yeah,
cherish it.
yeah, man. Because we got to think every single God
Just think
sends
about
us.
how many people that we've met just playing flag
Yeah,
football, that lives we've touched
of
or
course.
made a difference in, and you know, I get probably 10 or 12 messages a month, maybe sometimes a year of people just thanking me like, bro, I don't know where I'd be if it wasn't for you. And it just makes me, you know, I never cherished those things or really cherished anything until I say the last 9 months of me getting back into my faith. Cause it's
Hmm.
just like, wow, all this can just be gone.
Yeah, yeah,
And then what do you have? You know?
of course.
And it was funny because somebody asked me this question the other day. What are you gonna do after football? And I was just like, I don't know, because 25 years I've been doing this.
Hmm.
You know, it's like, what do you do? You know, when retirement
Yeah,
comes,
well, you can
you
become
gonna
a
coach,
referee,
you know, ref, you
coach,
know,
ref. You can start your own league.
yeah. Well, already done that, but
That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
you
But you
know,
can always go,
bigger league, yeah,
yeah. You can always start your own flag football league. You can start a youth football league. You can.
yeah. I mean,
There's so many different opportunities.
and that's another thing. I'm so grateful for some of the people and the organizations I've been a part of in the last 29 years of my life. Like I helped started the Belief Center, you know, got that up and going with them. Um, yeah, I mean, it's just great all these organizations
Yeah,
and things I could say I've been part of and never really truly cherished or realized how much of an impact I was in those places.
and not only that, every single person, God sends us people
Yeah.
to meet us, to
Like,
like, to
you
give
know,
us
what's crazy
inspiration.
is when I was, you know, giving up football and stuff, I remember Tanya Duran from the Belief Center.
Hmm.
I was working there summer job, and she had said to me, I remember I let her down one day. That didn't lead up to this story, but one day I was working for her, and she was gonna fire me
Hmm.
because I was young and dumb, and we were out there smoking in the boys' room. We were hotboxing the car, you know.
Yeah.
And I remember letting her down, and she was just in so much tears, and I was just like, damn. And that's when it clicked. Like we were sitting a few days later, and she sat me down, and she was like, "What do you really want out of your life? Like, Ari, this is what you want? Just to smoke all the time, be
Hmm.
cool, hang out with all these people that aren't really doing anything?"
Yeah.
And I remember that was the spark. She was like, "Listen, this is a guy I want you to go talk to about football. Just go talk to him. Hear what he got to say." And I'm like, all right, cool. And that's when I started playing flag again, and I was just grateful because you know a lot of people helped jumpstart my career again and
Hmm.
kept it going. Like for instance, shout out to Tanya, man. She's made so many opportunities like happen for me.
This weekend is Thanksgiving weekend, so I wanted to ask you like what you're thankful for, and like what exactly like all the stuff that you've been through in your life. What exactly are you thankful for, and where you're at right now in life?
What I'm thankful for most right now is God bringing me back to my mom, you know,
Hmm.
and really fixing our relationship. Um, because there was a lot of years we were in a really bad place between me and her, and
Hmm.
I'm just thankful that God has got us back to where we are now. And then I'm just thankful for my fiance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she supports all this uh, in my career, and sometimes I think she loves it more than I do.
Yeah.
So um, just the ability of her helping me open her home to my players, um, all the things she does, man. She's just great, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah, because a lot of your old relationships, football was like an interference between them, right?
Yeah, and a lot of the women I was with didn't like football or didn't love football as much as
Mm-hmm.
I loved it, and um, I always have been a person that put football before everything, and
Mm-hmm.
kind of made that stuff suffer. But she understands that's what I want out of my life. That's my goal, my dream, and
Mm-hmm.
she supports it 110% all the time.
Yeah.
Even when she doesn't, sometimes she does. You know,
Mm-hmm.
she'll get a little crappy about it, but she ultimately knows that's what I want. So.
Yeah. And how about your mom? You fix your relationship with your mom. Are you guys gonna do Thanksgiving or anything on the
We're
weekend?
having the Ohio State Michigan party
Mm-hmm.
Saturday. She's gonna make some finger foods and stuff like that. So it's gonna be nice first Thanksgiving dinner we've
Yeah,
had and say about 10 years together. So it's
that's
gonna be
cool.
nice. Very dope. I'm
That's
actually
good.
really excited for it.
And she gets along with the new
Oh,
girlfriend.
she loves her, man.
Oh yeah,
Actually, you know, it's crazy. Out of all the women I've brought home, I think my mom's only ever like two.
yeah,
And she told me, she was like, if you mess this one up, I swear to you, I'm gonna kill you.
yeah.
So she loves her. And actually, it was great. My mom, you know, she always said that she was gonna struggle with being a grandma, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and she still can say these kids and like they're her own grandkids. And she actually had our youngest boy this weekend, and she said she loved it. Had a great
Yeah,
weekend with him, so that was really cool because she was like, "Man, I never thought I was ready for grandmahood," and she's like, "I will love it, and I
yeah.
just look forward to it." And I'm like, "Man, I'm just
That's good, man.
grateful."
That's even better that they have a good relationship.
Yeah, and I'm grateful, you know, uh, to have the bond we have now, and I'm just blessed, man. Like that's
Hmm.
all I can say is God's blessed me.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
does your mom believe in God or no?
my mom, yeah, she believes in God. She's not really strong in her faith, but she believes
Mm,
in God, and
yeah.
yeah.
And your girlfriend, she believes in
Oh,
God.
she walks her faith as strong as I walk my faith. You
That's
know.
good. So that kind of helps you guys. And
Yeah. So a lot of our relationship is based on God. So you don't have the problems that you generally have in other
hmm,
relationships that I've had in the past. So
yeah, that's beautiful, man. Because it's in the Bible says that the best relationships are when you're equally yoked, when you both have God in your life,
yeah,
and
and
you guys are striving to become better, both of you guys.
always, and that's what I love about her the most is we can have those hard conversations
Hmm.
and still get through those hard conversations. You know,
Yeah,
so
that's fire. So what's next for Ari? What do you?
well, you know, we got the Blitz, trying to
Mhm,
get the Blitz to a bigger league. Goals to Huntington Center by 2026.
mhm,
I would love to make it 2025, but it's looking more so 2026. I got a few offers to play other places.
mhm.
Um, just kind of weighing all options at the moment. We're gonna go to a tryout next month. Omaha Beef in Columbus,
Mhm.
December 27th. Yeah, I think you know, just a lot of buzz right now. So a lot of
Yeah,
offers. So just don't really know where yet.
yeah. You gotta
Weigh it
weigh it
out.
out.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. And then where do you guys play when you guys are here in Toledo?
We play at the Total Sports out in Perrysburg.
Mhm.
Games are usually at 4 o'clock Saturdays.
Okay.
Our next home game is, I believe, December 14th
Mhm.
at 4:45. At Total Sports, so you can check us out. We have a Facebook page, the Ohio Blitz,
Mhm.
and then we also have Instagram. And if you want to find me or follow me,
Mhm.
Coach Ari on Facebook.
Yeah. All right, Ari. Thank you so much for sitting on a podcast with me.
Thanks, man.
I appreciate you so much. And
It
let me
was an
see that
honor.
football real quick. want to check it out.
There's the arena ball, man.
This is an arena ball right here.
Yeah, that's arena.
This is arena ball,
Oh.
and it's
That's
like
what I
that
got
red,
in
white, and
Iowa
blue.
for my 2 touchdowns.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they gave me 2 footballs. It was pretty cool.
Oh, that's dope. That's fire. Thank you, Ari, for finally sitting down with me, and
Thank you.
so I can get to know you better. And from here on out, we're friends forever. And hopefully, I can get this. I want to one day get all my podcast guests together, and we can have like a little party or something like that.
Yeah,
Maybe one day we can do like
Maybe
a
we
little.
can get a jersey for the studio to hang up in here.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
We'll
like
figure that
a
out.
Blitz jersey.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
do that. I got a couple.
Maybe I could go to a game one day.
Well, I'll get you some tickets. How about that? Next home game, by me. Bring the
Okay.
wife.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching the podcast. Make sure you follow Ari on Facebook, Instagram. Make sure you follow the Blitz. The home games are here in Toledo. Appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, do all that fun stuff. Have faith, show love, give hope, let go, and let God.
Hard work, God first. Remember that always.
Hard work, God